Hey guys, have you ever played a decent zombie game recently? A zombie game that is open world and has a very solid gameplay? Well, Techland had released their latest zombie game a few months ago called Dying Light. Dying Light is a game published by Warner Bros. Interactive instead of the Dead Island's publisher Deep Silver. Techland also left the development of Dead Island 2 to a different game development company, so they cut their ties to their Dead Island franchise because they are not satisfied of the outcome of Dead Island, which is supposed to be a survival horror game, but instead it ended up as a hack and slash game. But is Dying Light the game that Techland had really wanted to make, a true survival game? So first of all, what is the plot of the game? You play as Karl, a GRE operative, and you are sent to Haran, a zombie-infested city which is currently in quarantine to retrieve a stolen file from Kadir Sulaiman, aka Wise, the main antagonist of the game. You try to help the people of Haran while dealing with Wise and his bandits, and also the zombies, in which it comes with several forms. I'll explain that later. What are the good, the bad, and the grey on this game? Just like on our previous review, good and bad are self-explanatory, while the grey is between the good and the bad, so let's do this. In this review, we're going to talk about the good of the game first. Dying Light has a solid melee combat system, and it is one of the best parts of the game, killing the zombies with melee weapons. At the start of the game, you feel helpless, getting supplies and weak weapons because the zombies are strong. Yes, they are vulnerable, but they are strong. They are really hard to kill at the start of the game, but mid-game they are becoming less threat unless there are 20s or more zombies coming right at you. Speaking of zombies, there are several variations of zombies here, which adds tension since some are really hard to kill. Most of the special zombies are just a rehash from Dead Island with a different model and a different name, but it has the same ability. However, there are two zombie types that you have to watch out for early in the game. First is the viral. They are humans who recently turned into zombies. To elaborate, they still have the emotions and physique like a normal human, but their minds are getting consumed by the virus. And they will attack you when they see you, even though they keep saying that you stay away from them. Quite dramatic and gives a lot of dilemma, but zombie is a zombie, and it has to be killed, especially if it's chasing you. Also, they can climb buildings and stuff, so they are one scary zombie when you are unaware of the surroundings. They are usually driven by noise, so shooting a gun would bring several of them to the source of the sound, so there is a serious consequence on making noise in the game. The second zombie game that you have to run away from when you see one is the volatiles. They are not around during the day, but at night, several volatiles pop out. They are like the super saiyan of zombies. They transcended into something more agile, more powerful as ever before. If you're starting out, you have to run fast and get to a safe zone because they can one-hit kill you unless you are high level enough to deflect it. Surely enough, Volatile gives that scary vibe when playing at night since they are persistent on chasing you, and when one finds you, others will go also, so that will crap your pants. Volatile is an original concept, and I really like that they add something like this in the game, which gives a horror feeling to the players, and it is something unique and cannot be found in other zombie games. Another good thing about this game is the day and night cycle. On daytime, the game is like a walk in the park, but at nighttime, shit gets real, and like I said, volatiles pop out of nowhere. And also some biters at night transform into something like virals, as they can run, climb, which gives a lot of problems and can easily overrun you if you are not careful. But with disadvantage like this, there's also advantage on playing on nighttime. Experiences are doubled, which is really helpful if you want to level up fast. And if you are the type of the guy who loves thrills, then play at nighttime. Just pull out a new pair of underwear just for precaution. Aside from zombies, you will be able to encounter thugs along the way, especially if you're rooting to get the airdrop since they are most likely to be there when you get near to it. Human AI is far more intelligent, agile, and powerful. The good thing about this inclusion is that you can see them fight zombies and you can watch them destroy the zombies around them or get overwhelmed by the zombies. You can also come across with some survivors who need help, and you will get rewards by helping them. These little details really add the dynamic atmosphere of the game. The multiplayer on this game is also brilliant. I don't know if it's sheer luck, but on all of my multiplayer experience in this game, everything went smoothly, even though my ASP is shit and slow. There's no lag and delay on other players, which is great and it does not frustrate me. The community is also helpful and friendly enough to help you on your quests, and that is another good thing about this game. Graphics is spectacular in my opinion. Just tweak it since there is an option wherein the game looks fuzzy and it kind of irritates me overall. The environment is vibrant and it is just one good looking place to roam around. Character models are delightful too. Almost everything on this game looks amazing. And the best feature of the game is the parkour. Karl can do some awesome parkour moves to break out of sight from volatiles or virals when they are chasing you, and also to stay out of the trouble rather than walking down the streets where there are dangerous things below. It's a very unique concept, and it was done gracefully here. The animation for the transition is a very smooth process, and it is a recommended action in the game. And it is also one of the best core gameplays of Dying Light. I finished the game within 20 hours to 35 hours. That is a lot considering that I haven't even finished the side quests. It just means that there's a lot of things that you can do here in the game. The skill tree is also a good addition. It's separated into 3 categories: survival, agility, and power. All are self-explanatory, and within each category has its own skills which helps you in your journey in Haran. And also you gain separate experience on all of these 3, so you can upgrade them at the same time if you want to. The ambience of this game is awesome. It gives me thrills when playing the game, especially at night, when there's a lot of volatiles. The scream they make may actually cause you to pee. It's terrifying and I love it. And now we set forth to the gray area of the game. First are the characters. They are not bad nor good in my honest opinion, but if you compare them to the Dead Island characters, Dying Light characters are way better than them. Still, it's not as good as I had hoped for. Character development is also weak, and I just couldn't care less more about the characters. They feel generic and stereotypical. Borrowing aspects from other games is good, but overdoing it makes the game less original, and this is not a good thing. Dying Light has borrowed a lot of core aspects from different games like Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Left 4 Dead, and its predecessors, Dead Island. Also, the whole game feels like a rehashed version of Dead Island. It's like Dead Island version 3.0 with parkour. It has improved tons and tons of gameplay and added a lot more. But if you look at it closely, it's just the same game. But why is it not on the bad list? Well, because the improvements are all worth it. Voice acting is decent enough, but there should have more emotion so the immersion would not be stopped. Because I didn't feel immersed when talking to other characters in the game, even if they are angry. There is a game mode called Be the Zombie. It's a pretty cool game mode only if it works. It's basically defend your own turf type of game, and you have to kill all the humans who try to destroy it. Most of the time it does not connect, and if it does, it's always 1v1, which is dumb. I owned like 3 to 5 guys on different servers, and it felt boring after a while because 1v1 with a zombie who can insta-kill you is just not fun. But yeah, it's on the gray area because it's a very nice game mode for a change, especially if you're playing with 3 or more players. Quests on this game can be engaging most of the time, but some can be a chore to do, especially if it's an escort mission or bring me mission. The rewards can be fulfilling though, so it's not that bad. It is just that it can be really boring at some point. Now let's go on with the bad part of the game. There is not much, which is freaking great, but I'll elaborate the things I'm going to discuss in here. First, the story is not really that original, and the writer for the story look like it has some ties with the Far Cry 3. A typical trying to be hero protagonist plus a crazy ass antagonist. Far Cry 3. Well, basically it's like Far Cry 3 in a different setting. I didn't like it because for me, the story makes me remember a game for a long time. It's memorable character like the protagonist and antagonist. I just cannot see it here in this game. The story is heavily cliche, and that's what I hate about it. Even if you put a little drama on it, it just doesn't feel sad or anything. And it's a shame, since again, the story for a zombie game is just not good enough. Also, I hate to break this to you, but the ending is full of crap. It's a QTE, it's a quick time event. How dumb is that? If they want to make a freaking good ending by making it scripted, no, it's not. QTE is not even used 90% of the time in the game. Why do it at the ending? The ending is the climax, the ending is the falling action, and you're going to make it the most boring part of the game. It is a terrible thing to do and just adds to the insult to the bland and uninteresting story of the game in the first place. Just no! Replayability for this game is also low. After you've beaten the main story and do all the side quests, there is nothing to do in the game anymore unless you help others on the multiplayer, and I doubt you'd want to repeat the whole game because the story is not just memorable. It's a type of story that will be forgotten in just a few days. Weapon durability is crap. Loads of crap. They get easily broken, which is stupid, and limited repair usage is not my thing. But hey, they wanted to make it more survival, so they added that. Not my cup of tea though. Speaking of survival, they claim that Dying Light is a survival game and not like Dead Island. Technically, it's not a survival game. At first, yes, it feels like that because you lack items, weapons, etc. But around the time you've played enough, the survival aspect is becoming more low and low. Items become more common, and when you're in mid-game, all the survival aspect of the game is gone. Unless you play on night. But even that can lose its effect in the late game. In the end, it's not worth the genre survival game. Lastly, the optimization on this game is not that great at launch, especially for AMD users. This includes me, but the recent patches made it more playable, but still, developers should stop sabotaging games by making it less playable on other hardware. It's just a bad practice. It's on the bad area because I believe it was intentionally sabotaged for AMD to have low FPS at launch. Not good, Techland, not good. And that is all for the good and bad and gray area. To conclude this review, here is my verdict for Dying Light. Story 72 out of 100. Dying Light's story is almost a copycat for Far Cry 3, and that does not make it original at all. Character development are not that affectionate, also it's more on the annoying part rather than the sympathy part. Yes, the quests can be really engaging, but some can be pain in the ass. The escort missions and bring me missions really is a waste of time. But I guess the rewards can be fulfilling for the most part. Graphics is 89 out of 100. Dying Light is a beautiful game. Probably one of the most gorgeous looking environment this year so far. Character models are also well made. Even if you play on medium-high setting, it is still a good looking game. The animations are also tight on the game. The transition between movements are really awesome and feel amazing. It feels realistic. Same goes with the zombies. They are really dumb. However, the score is much lower since the game is not fully optimized, especially for AMD cards. Gameplay is 91 out of 100. Solid melee gameplay, dynamic environment like when you shoot a gun, varls would come after you, and several occasions wherein the game feels so immersive. Dying Light is full of good stuff. But the problem is that some of its core gameplay are borrowed from other games. It does not revolutionize it, nor make it better. Still, Dying Light has a solid gameplay and one that I really love and enjoy throughout my journey in Haran. Sounds 88 out of 100. Ambience on this game is top notch. It gives me chills and a little bit of hysteria when playing the game. And it does not go away, especially at night. Also, voice acting is decent enough but nothing really special about it. Replay value is 78 out of 100. Beating the main story and all the side quests may take 20 hours to 40 hours, which is a healthy length for Dying Light, and something we rarely see in today's games. But that's all there is to it. After you finish the whole game, there is nothing you can do unless you want to play the Be the Zombie mode, which does not work properly yet, because few people actually turn on the zombie invasion. Or help others by joining their game and giving them a hand to finish the quest. Still, the game fell short on the post-story content of the game. And the verdict for the Dying Light is 84 out of 100. Dying Light is probably one of the best zombie games right now. Beautiful graphics, solid overall gameplay, and the transition of animation is really good. The only hindrances on this game are that the story is not original nor something likable. It is a decent story, but if you have played Far Cry 3, there is a striking resemblance and that just hurts the rating. This also goes to the gameplay. It could be rated higher if they have improved what they had borrowed, but they played it safe. Also, the optimization of this game is not good, and it was, I assume, intentionally sabotaged AMD GPUs to have lower frame rate than their Nvidia counterparts. I hate racism on hardware, it has to stop. So that is my review of Dying Light. It's a very cool game, and if you like this review, then go subscribe, like, and comment what you think of the Dying Light. Also, you can go check out my Patreon page in which you can donate if you think I deserve it, because I make monthly video game giveaways and that would really help me a lot to do that. So yeah, this is my review of Dying Light and hope you really guys like it. It took me long because I am really busy in school, but here it is, Dying Light, and I really enjoy it. So see ya, bye.